Once upon a time in a distant kingdom, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. She was kind-hearted, gentle, and beautiful, with a bright smile that could light up the darkest day. Though her heart was full of love, fate had not been kind to her. Her mother had passed away, leaving her alone in the care of a selfish stepmother. This stepmother had 2 daughters of her own and was terribly jealous of Cinderella's beauty and kindness. She treated Cinderella unfairly, making her do all the household chores and wear ragged clothes, while her own daughters lived in luxury and wore beautiful dresses. Despite all the cruelty she faced, Cinderella remained kind and gentle. She never let her stepmother's unkindness change who she was. She often found peace in the garden, talking to birds and animals who became her dearest friends. One day, exciting news spread across the kingdom. The prince was hosting a grand ball at the palace, and every young maiden in the land was invited. Cinderella's stepsisters were thrilled. For weeks, they prepared their gowns and practiced their dance steps. Cinderella watched them with a bittersweet smile, wishing she too could go and experience the magic she had only heard about in stories. But her stepmother refused, telling her to stay home and continue with the chores. On the night of the ball, while her stepmother and stepsisters left for the palace, Cinderella sat near the fireplace, her eyes filled with tears. She longed for just a taste of the magic her mother once spoke of. Suddenly, a gentle, sweet voice filled the room. It was her fairy godmother, a glowing, beautiful figure surrounded by soft light. "My dear child, why are you crying?" the fairy godmother asked. Cinderella explained her wish to attend the ball and how her stepmother had denied her the chance. The fairy godmother smiled and said, "Don't worry, my child. You shall go to the ball." With a wave of her wand, Cinderella's ragged clothes turned into a stunning gown. On her feet appeared sparkling glass slippers that shone like stars. She turned a pumpkin into a beautiful carriage and mice into elegant horses. Before sending her off, the fairy godmother warned, "My dear, remember, the magic lasts only until midnight. You must leave the palace before the clock strikes 12. Cinderella thanked her and left for the palace in her magical carriage. As she arrived, she felt like a true princess. Her heart danced with joy. The moment she entered the ballroom, the entire room fell silent. The prince, enchanted by her beauty, walked straight to her. They danced together like a dream, and Cinderella felt happiness she had never known before. But as the night passed, the clock began to strike midnight. Cinderella, remembering her fairy godmother's warning, ran out of the palace. In her haste, one of her glass slippers slipped off on the grand staircase. She had no time to turn back. She disappeared into the night, her gown turning back into rags. All that remained was the slipper and the memory of that magical evening. The next day, the prince was determined to find the girl who had danced with him. He and his men went door to door across the kingdom, testing the glass slipper on every young woman's foot. When they reached Cinderella's cottage, her stepsisters tried to force their feet into the slipper, but it didn't fit. Cinderella, quietly watching, then stepped forward and asked, "May I try?" The prince agreed. As she placed her foot in the slipper, it fit perfectly. The prince's eyes sparkled with joy. He had found his princess. Though her stepsisters were shocked and ashamed, Cinderella forgave them. She believed that kindness and compassion were stronger than anger and hate. And so, Cinderella was reunited with the prince. They lived happily ever after, proving that goodness, grace, and a loving heart can overcome all of life's hardships.